What's up, everyone? Welcome to Hot Ones Summer School, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna run it back. I just went to get my plate of cauliflower and touched one of the pieces of cauliflower, and I didn't think my wife had put anything on it, and there was some stuff on my finger. I licked it off. Yeah, it happened to be DeBomb, so I'm already on fire here. And so Josh, as you can see, is in the upper right, and our guy Ben's down below. He's going to do his Q&A, and my daughter's crying in the background, and so there's nothing I can do about that. How are you guys?
Doing well, man. Excited to be here. Excited for another round. I'm excited to have Ben on with us.
We know you're not excited, Josh. Okay, you can just go. You can just admit it. Ben, what's up, man?
I was getting slightly nervous as I was unscrewing all the hot sauce, and when we were going through with the order with the producer to make sure everything was good, the names just slowly, get that pit in your stomach.
Yeah. So my kid just walked by, and my oldest son, he's like, "You look like you're about to cry." I'm like, "Yeah, I am actually." I'm gonna have to go get some tissues here in a second, but yeah, I mean, this is gonna be some good stuff here. Really excited to talk about the college football package. And Josh, why don't you talk about your strategy when you enter the first round of a PPR draft, 2 QB, and just talk about how you're evaluating which pick who you might take at different picks as I go get a couple of tissues. I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, do it, man. Yeah. Well, if I have my strategy changes based on where I'm drafting, but the first 3 picks of the draft, I'm looking at in the first round, I'm looking at Bijan Robinson, Lou Nichols, or Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I want one of those 3, and who I get is going to probably determine what I do in the second round. But I typically try to go Bijan first. Some of that's a homer pick because of from Texas, want to watch my boy play. But then also, Bijan's just a beast. And Sark loves to feed his running backs. And then next I'll go JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, because, he's going to be unbelievable in PPR formats. And then Lou Nichols with Kobe Lewis, heading out. Talking about a guy that got almost 400 touches last year. So he's a guy that we all want on our roster if we can grab him. So that's the beginning. After that, honestly, I'm going to A.T. Perry because I am in love with the Wake Forest offense and the connection that he has with Sam Hartman. He's usually who I'm grabbing outside of those top 3 picks.
Yeah, and it's a solid strategy. And, I differ very little. The only thing is I would factor in Travion Henderson, but there's factors we're dealing with Mayan Williams and how many touches is he going to take? If you're not familiar with Mayan Williams, I mean, he could literally start for 95% of the teams out there. So he's a wrecking ball and missed tackle machine, and it's really up in the air. There were rumors that some people are out there trying to recruit him to leave Ohio State. So he's stuck. He's staying in Columbus, and with Travion Henderson there, he's a beast. Travion Henderson's going to be potential future first round pick. So I can't argue with any of the calls that you have there. I also like Xavier Worthy. He's another guy I like, late first, and usually I'm looking at run. If I don't get Jackson Smith and Jigba, I'm looking at running back first. But if Xavier Worthy or A.T. Perry are there, I'm absolutely going to jump on them. And then
Xavier Worthy's been the cover boy for a lot of CFF articles, so that's good to know.
Yeah. Oh, he's beast. And Josh will tell you he sees him firsthand.
Oh yeah. I mean, any dude that's running a 10-600 meter and in a Sark offense is going to be electric. So
yeah, and he gets Quinn Ewers this year. Last year, Casey Thompson wasn't bad. No, he's a good quarterback, but he gets Quinn Ewers this year. It's an upgrade. And I mean, I'm really excited about that Texas offense, and I don't think anybody's going to call you a homer for saying you're going to take Bijan first either, because it's 1A 1B for me between him and JSM. But I like to mess with Josh because in tight end premium leagues, I like to take Brock Bowers at the turn at the end of the first. He's got Brock Bowers at like the tight end 4, and it's just I like to cut.
I try and put a lot of fantasy people in their place when this. I take it seriously, and then I just think of, okay, are you in a tight end premium college football fantasy league? Because if not, then step back, okay?
Yeah. They're fun, man. We play in a series, a guy that we know, he put together a series of best balls that are all tight end premium, except they're 2 points per reception, and you start 2 tight ends. So tight ends are pretty valuable in those leagues. And
I was always bummed that Tyler Kroft never could stay healthy in the NFL, because he was fun. I'm sure he was a popular CFF pick. Back in the day, yeah.
And by the way, Ben's going to be dropping the Rutgers knowledge throughout the live stream. So get your pen and your pad and pen and start taking some notes. So hey guys, you want to go ahead and take this first one?
Let's do it.
Get the classic out of the way.
Get the classic.
Let's do it. Here we go.
I'm doing cauliflower, by the way, this time. I did wings last time.
Okay.
Good. It's delicious.
Oh, that was really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only
ones you want to eat the whole one, because you're going to get much more meat after this.
I've barely eaten today, so.
Oh, that's not good. Did you eat anything to coat your stomach?
No.
Oh man. I hope you don't have the same thing. I told the story last time. I got this chicken from this barbecue place, and they had this extremely hot sauce that there's a notice on the menu that if you order it, you can't get your money back. It's at your own risk, right? And I got it. I ate it. I was fine. Like my mouth burned a little bit. It was similar to these, but it wasn't like, it didn't drop me to a knee. But then the food hit my stomach, and I didn't eat anything that day, and I was in serious pain. So,
thank goodness tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Josh and I are getting up early to record another conference preview. So,
smoke show, R.I.P. Ben's butthole.
we'll look like we're all hungover. But I will
and yes, you can follow along on the ticker of where we're at.
Yeah. The sauces are down
If you want to know what the scope is, I'll tell you.
Yeah, definitely. So I will say that I was doing all my work. I was doing all NFL draft work and it dipped over into the CFF season. So I didn't, I missed several weeks of it. And first one I did with Josh, though, I ended up taking, I was picking last, and so I ended up taking 2 quarterbacks back to back at the end of the first. I mean, it's a super flex, right? And but it was the first CFF draft I had done this year, and Josh was like, "Yeah, I think you and I differ in our views of draft value." And I was like, "What? I got Malik Cunningham and Hendon Hooker. That's beast." And he's like, "Yeah, I just like to wait on my quarterbacks." So then as we're going through the draft, I'm realizing, why isn't anybody? I mean, like the top guys got taken, but then it was like rounds until anybody took another quarterback. And I'm realizing, okay, so you're telling me that Tyler Van Dyke and Jackson Dart and I mean, you could just all kinds of names are available at like the 8, 9, 10 round, 10th round. And I was like, oh, okay. I see what you're talking about now. I mean, the value that people are letting, and we're talking about sharps too, that they're just letting slip and slip and slip is just ridiculous. So I've kind of taken that to that, that adjustment, and I'm realizing that, okay, so if a Hendon Hooker or a Malik Cunningham is around is there at the third round or so, sure, I'll definitely be taking them there, but I'm not going to touch quarterbacks. Other than that, until I get to that, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wanted like a John Reese Plumlee a couple of times, but there's no taking him when you're in a draft with Josh. So that wasn't happening. So Josh, why don't you go through like just a few more of your inside the top 5 strategies so we can line those away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote quite a bit about this in the CFF draft plan, and for me, it's like a sprint to get the best wide receivers and the best running backs through the first like 6 or 7 rounds. And if a tight end like Brock Bowers or Eric Gilbert, Michael Mayer, if they fall to like the 5th round, like those are guys that we'll take a shot on, but essentially just as fast as possible, get as many good running backs and wide receivers. And then about 7th, 8th round, start looking at Tanner Mordecai, those type of, essentially right around when like Will Rogers goes or Brendan Armstrong. Those are kind of my key indicators of like, okay, now I'll take Tanner Mordecai, who's a guy that I've been just picking up like crazy in the 8th round, 8th, 9th round. And then going quarterbacks for like 2 or 3 rounds there.
I will say one strategy that I always follow that I haven't seen you do, at least I haven't, maybe I haven't noticed, but I tend to stack my quarterbacks always. And I don't.
Oh, with wide receivers?
Yeah, or tight end. And I don't remember seeing you stack very often. So like a perfect example is I don't think I've ever seen you take Sam Hartman. And and you're usually the guy that ends up with A.T. Perry. So could you kind of go into that? Are you not much of a stat guy?
Yeah, I think in college football, like I know it's a relatively like popular strategy, but I just have found in college football, because there's so many different like players that you can choose from, that I'm just going for like a maximum value, and I don't really care about stacks. And in fact, I just think it messes with like my strategy, because then I start like going for quarterbacks earlier, and then I'm kind of off balance the rest of drafts. Like I like to draft around the same positions or the same value. I mean, all of it is a feel in some ways, but yeah, that's why like a Sam Hartman, I don't go early on quarterbacks, because I've done it like once or twice, and then I'm like throwing off the rest of the draft. Yeah. So yeah, I don't care much about stacks in CFF, and I found that people like typically like last year, at least, like when people were doing it, like other players just fell that were really valuable, and I was just able to pick them up. So,
okay, well, here's my strategy with stacks: is I never reach to complete a stack. So I'll take Tyler Buchner around the 10-11 range, and I'm not going to get Michael Mayer with him, and I wouldn't even try. I wouldn't even try to set that up, is what I'm trying to say. But then when I get to like 22, 23, that's when I'll come in and pick up a Lorenzo Styles. And I'm not desperate for it, but if it's there and Styles drops enough, then I will go in and take him. And then the other strategy is that I'm already waiting on quarterbacks. And the last one we did, I waited even longer. I think I didn't take my first quarterback till round 11. And I ended up taking, I think it was Tyler Van Dyke, and then I waited 2 rounds, and I was kind of surprised you didn't come in and scoop up Will Mallory. It was one of those leagues where we're 2 points per receptions for tight ends, and we start 2, and I took Will Mallory 2 rounds later. So and it wasn't an intentional stack. I didn't even think he would be there, and he was. So I took it. So it's more of an opportunistic type of approach to stacking. So I'm not going to reach for, and like you said, there's so many guys that you can build so many strategies that you can use. So I'm usually waiting for the value. And then as soon as the value hits, I'll take a guy. And then if I can hit the stack later on, when that player comes into value, I will do that, just so when I'm in those weeks. And if those 2 players blow up, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat me, and so it's just something that I just keep in the back of my mind as I'm going through. But
Got Robert here saying he needs a leg up on a 22-team Devi draft coming up.
Yeah.
I know we're talking. I know we're talking CFF, but that sounds like a nightmare.
Well, the nightmare is one that Josh and I both lived. It's a league.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're in. Yeah. It's the staff and subscriber Devi league that we're in, the 22 teamer. You heard them, Josh. They were all like mortified that we were going 30 rounds in a 22 team league. Weren't they?
Yeah.
They were all pretty upset about that.
And to be fair, like Ben, at the end of the draft, we're drafting like people that aren't even on teams right now.
Players.
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco is like my RB4 right now.
Yeah.
Soon to be the Chiefs. Soon to be the Chiefs RB1.
Hey, there's a spot there.
But it's fun though, and that's something that I recommend everybody give it a shot. Is to play in a deep league like that, to where you push the boundaries, because you get to the end of the draft and there's really not a whole lot left on free agency, and it forces everyone in the league to build their if they want to improve their rosters for right away or later, you have to trade. So it kind of builds up a community that way, and I just feel like people are going to be just interacting so much more. It's really healthy for the league. I really like that league.
I got a question as someone who doesn't play CFF. So in case others tuning in haven't played CFF, so like for NFL wideouts, you bank on that third year breakout from receivers. Is there an equivalent for something like that where it's the second year running back or something like that?
For NFL or
for CFF? Yeah, for CFF, because it's always around the league. It's always who's the third year breakout wide receiver, because it's year 3 is like when you see that jump. So I'm wondering if there's an equivalent for CFF leagues.
Well, there's 2 strategies, and it's I would say the mainstream strategy for sharps is that you learn the offensive coordinators inside out. Josh, why don't you explain it? Because it's a strategy that you essentially use for some of your some of your approach.
Yeah, a lot of it is like system and talent. So you're essentially following around offensive coordinators and where they go, and then looking for who's then coming in. So like a good example is a guy that Wes like last year, a guy named Miles Price that we would have sometimes in DFS. And so the Western Kentucky offensive coordinator, where they just shattered records, comes over to Texas Tech, and people are now looking at the slot receiver in that offense because that guy got 200 targets last year at Western Kentucky. And now they're saying, okay, Miles Price, he's the guy. And so that guy, a guy that was like undraftable and would be undraftable this year, is now a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
I'm seeing him as wide receiver 14 in our rankings.
Yeah. So
he's going way before I would draft him, and I don't even think Josh will touch him anymore now.
No, not 2nd round.
Yeah,
but that's where he's going.
But guys that are they know what they're doing. They are picking him there. Like if he would go a little bit later, I'd pick him up. But anyway, but then the other strategy so I don't follow that to the letter. Like I definitely keep up with the offensive coordinators, but I'm always evaluating the talent first, and then I'm trying to see where they're at in the offense, and then if they're he could be a talented receiver, but if he's going to play in a pro style offense, I mean, he's going to have to be the number 1 receiver, or he's not going to put up the numbers, So you do want to follow what type of scheme that the offenses are using. But to answer, your question and to shorten all that is no, there isn't like
no rhyme or reason. Yeah.
There's no 3rd year type of breakout thing. I would say that the one position that I would hesitate to go crazy for, especially in a redraft, particularly in a redraft, is at tight end. I wouldn't be drafting young tight ends unless it's like absolutely
an Iowa tight end. An Iowa or Penn State tight end.
Guaranteed a starting spot, or he's going to see starts, things like that. Yeah, there's just not a lot of time. So, say you're playing in a CFF dynasty league, you got 4 years. Well, nowadays it's 6. You get your red shirt plus the guys that were around for 2020. They get their super senior season. So some guys have 6 years, but we'll get back to 5 soon enough. And I mean, that's not really enough time for a certain year breakout. Right. And it's one of the things that Josh and I end up spending a lot of our time doing is reading these random newspaper reports on who's looking good in practice and things like that. Because that's the thing about college football is this stuff just isn't reported like it is in the NFL. You got to go find it, right? Yeah. So and then like we were talking about on one of the recent conference previews is a lot of these local papers, they're going subscribe to read now. And I'm not going to pay for 131 newspaper subscriptions to read about one player. And
all you have to do is to just listen to the Fantasy Points College Football podcast.
There you go.
That's all you got to do.
Exactly. Yeah. I would say the other strategy, and I'll keep this short, but it's position battles. It's like if you can figure out and identify who's going to win the LSU job or SMU job, things like that, UCF job with John Rice Plumlee. Like if you can figure you're adept at that, then you can have a lot of success because those are where the values are in drafts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. And I think we're due for another hit here. You guys ready for this?
Let's go. What are we hitting here? What is it?
Island Wings.
Yes.
Island Wings at 5,500.
This is a tasty one too.
It's aesthetically pleasing as a sauce too, so we'll see.
Good. Yeah, I was just watching the latest episode with Bear Grylls.
Oh, wait, hot ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And oddly enough, he's like afraid of hot foods, of spicy foods.
He eats like feces.
Yeah, like
in the wilderness.
And one time he picked up a big pile of elephant dung and he squeezed it out so he could get the water out of it.
That's a tasty sauce.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a Hawaiian, like a fruity coconut type of sauce. Yeah.
Yeah. The first one was worse than the second one, to be honest.
Yeah.
As far as kick.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep this within an hour and a half, so you don't have to sit here all day for this show. But so after we get past 5 rounds, Josh, and you're hitting the 6, 7, 8, and getting to the double digits. What are you looking to do as you turn that corner?
Yeah, once I've got my quarterbacks there and the 8th, 9th, 10th round, I mean, that's really what I'm getting there. And I'm trying to stack as many quality quarterbacks as I can. And so some examples are we're going after the same guys, right? Tandem Mordecai, Tyler Buckner, Tyler Van Dyke, Devin Leary,
Garrett Schrader.
Yeah, Garrett Schrader. Any of those guys, Tyler Shuck, and then pairing them with Baron Morton later. All those guys are guys that I'm targeting there and that. And then I'll go back to wide receivers, running backs, or tight ends after that.
Yeah, I mean, so the overall takeaway is get killer wide receivers and running backs because, I mean, there's only so many. And then after you get to a certain point in the 20s, you have to really know what you're doing. And so if you're not somebody that has a lot of experience with CFF, don't wait on your running backs and your wide receivers, because when you get into the 20s, now if you have our obviously you have our rankings, then you've got everything you need. You really do. And what I would recommend, and I've told a lot of people this, is we don't have overall rankings this year. Hopefully we'll have that next year. But this year we don't have it. But what I would recommend is go in, just copy all the quarterbacks, paste them onto a spreadsheet, 4 columns, running back or quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. And then as you go through your draft, just delete them off the list and when it comes time for your pick, you know what positions that you want to be looking at. Just evaluate the 5 names at the top of that list. You can just do a simple search of that player and just read about him a little bit. And then you can see, and then something that Josh and I do, we're going crazy and looking at every little detail of every little player. But here's the thing, we actually want to enjoy watching the players that we draft. So if we're stuck between like 2 or 3 guys and one of them stands out as somebody that we actually want to watch, I mean, that's what we're going to do. We're going to guys that we actually root for.
We're going to have to up our content also. The big news being NBC Sports Edge is discontinuing their college football coverage in Slides Fantasy Pool. So
that definitely benefits us for sure.
I just want to obviously there's always more to the story. That's just interesting.
Yeah,
that they're discontinuing that. So we absolutely, and Wes, I know you should aim to be the place for all things college football. I basically want a freshman player to come in and be on your guys' rankings and have a subscriber follow that player all the way through a Super Bowl, season in DFS, years later.
That's why I love this company. I love this man right here. This man right here, Ben Kukanis, I love this company because that's, I mean, Josh, tell me that's not just, it's just gold listening.
Yeah. And it's so rare. I mean, it takes vision.
It really does.
To be able to see that. So, and to see what's going on. And yeah, absolutely. And to see like, man, betting, props, DFS, like there's so many ways to use this knowledge. And these are the things that we're going to be providing.
I actually just was talking to our providers. We should have a prop search tool up and running for the season. We just launched our PGA one. We should have something similar. Everything has changed with NIL now. Like the gray area is like completely gone. You don't have to feel So it's going to be awesome this year.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited about the NIL era and the changes that are upcoming. And I had a conversation with Ben, behind the scenes, and I was like, the CFF stuff's going so well. I was like, I just want to get to a point where we're not just providing CFF information, but we're just providing college football information, and we're just putting out information where you have to really track down stuff from all over the country, and just articles about all different teams and unrelated to fantasy, just college football in general.
Right. I mean that's almost like what a little bit with the NFL franchise focus. Like it is fantasy centered, but like it's just between that that's just a lot of it is just straight information.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Quentin, one of our best subscribers. I love you guys because my wife always said I was super weird for following players from high school all the way through the pros. There you go, Quentin.
That's incredible. You found your home, Quentin.
You found your home,
Yeah, it's like you're following high school players. It just sounds stalkish behavior, right? I mean, I see where she's coming from.
I always secretly resent my high school for going 3-33 in my entire 4 years. Like there was just, we didn't even have a home field. We literally so our town was so big that we had East and West High School. I went to East High School. Our home field was at the West High School.
Yeah, that's terrible.
This show also serves as therapy for Ben, and we're here for you. And so Ben, how did that make you feel?
Indifferent, which is what I resent. Which is what What I resent the most is them actually getting a nice turf field 2 years after I graduated.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. It was like the year I graduated high school. It split up. And they remodeled the school that I went to, like really nice, and they built a brand new school for the other half. So I didn't get either. I just got the old dumpy school.
We really were the joke, and we like the nearby towns like Logan Ryan went to the high school, right around the corner, and we were the butt of jokes while I was there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just drafted Rashad White in my best ball. I'm pretty excited about him. But the other thing that I want to do next year is I want us to provide ADP and Josh and I we're going to track. I'm going to start getting into CFF drafts earlier so I can help Josh with this. But I want us to track our all of our drafts with the sharps and compile ADP and build it as we go. And we'll get that started as early as we can, as soon as everyone starts doing their CFF drafts next year, and then we'll put that up on the site as well, because that's just a massive tool. And in a way, providing the ADP is better than giving you the overall rankings, because when you
Absolutely.
have the ADP, you can use the positional rankings to determine, okay, well, I can wait.
Especially for people who've never played, because if you've never played, you're really going in like you're really just saying, all right, my eyes are closed, and Wes and Josh, I'm trusting you with my draft. Yeah.
Well, Josh and I, we have the ADP, but it's not work that we collected. It's somebody else's work. Who's your buddy? Is
at CFF Champs, his name's Zach Hall. Great dude.
Yeah.
So wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could have maybe asked him. I just didn't feel right about putting his work on our website. So, but we're going to do that next year, and we're going to have that, and I'd like to get to a point where we could provide even like dynasty ADP, because that's something that, it's not a type of format that we're doing a whole lot of startups there, because, you're obviously putting more time into those. But it would be nice to even have that, and we'd have to put together, a series of drafts, probably like a best ball type format to get everyone to sign off on that. Wouldn't you think, Josh?
Yeah, for sure. And that's like just a deeper level of degenerate, which we love. And that's what we're here for. But
absolutely. Breaking news: Expo cups and wristbands have arrived. They are in Canton right now. They are in Canton.
Nice. I can't wait. Okay, so this coming week, I'm going to be taking some days off, and I'm excited. I might be buying a house. So, just really exciting week for me. But we're going to be finishing off the conference previews this week. Then next week, I'm going to get all the Devi positional write-ups done. So all four are going to be done on the following week. Then the week after is the Expo. This is just a great month. I love it. And then we're getting so close to the season starting. But Josh, you're going to be there. Why don't you talk about the Kings Classic that I'm not invited to yet?
Yeah, so I might be giving up my spot to Wes after this. But we're doing.
I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, we do a draft. Every year starting last year at the Fantasy Football Expo with a bunch of different people within the industry within college fantasy football. So we did it last year. We had 12 people, did a live draft, and it was a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun until they made the playoffs 1 week earlier than it should have been. And I literally took Malik Willis 1.1, and the playoffs started during his bye week, which it was supposed to be a week later. So I was like leading the league, and I was like 9-1. And then I also was like leading the league in points, and then I didn't win. So, cause I had to sit my top pick, but is what it is. I'm not bitter, I promise, but I'm trying to come back this year with the belt, represent for fantasy points. So we'll see.
I will say I am an alternate. So if a spot opens up, I'll be on it. It's not that they don't like me. It's just that they didn't. A lot of the guys in the CFF industry don't know if I'm CFF or if I'm NFL. So they kind of forget about me because
I'm telling you, got to change from West Huber NFL to just West Huber FB football.
Yeah, it's probably
it threw me off. I wasn't inviting Wes to any of these best balls because I'm like, I guess he's just doing like NFL stuff.
I was like, nobody likes me, Josh. I don't get invited anymore. Like, what's the deal? And he's like, hold on, let me go talk to everybody.
You guys want to do next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. All right, what do we got here?
This is mescaline. This is 16,600.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this a chunky? Oh no, it's not. It looked chunky at first. Oh boy, I put.
Are you down?
I put a little too much on.
So are you doing this live, Ben? Are you putting the sauce on as we're going?
You're doing a dab on every one.
Okay. Some of those sauces come out quick, so just
That's exactly what just happened.
Hey, guys, talk about whatever. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the last dab and one more beer.
Okay.
That one hit, but it actually simmered nicely. Like it's
Yeah.
like it when at first I was like, oh wow, this is shockingly hot, and then then it simmered.
These first like 5 to me like aren't too terrible. It's like when you get to the Carolina Reaper, and like the name alone is just so intimidating.
The seventh Reaper.
Yeah, the seventh Reaper. There you go.
I want to make sure Carp had asked when West returns of the wide receiver twos of the group who were the top 5. He was asking that for wide receivers and running backs for when West gets back. I don't know if you wanted to start that, Josh.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I would say kind of in that group you have like the Rashee Rices of the world. I have to look at our rankings to look exactly who in there, but like Rashee Rice, Dante Cephas usually falls in that range. You have Marvin Mims.
Is that Cephas like related to Quintus Cephas?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh,
he might be. I don't think so. I think it's AS.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
US. Yeah. So Dante Cephas is from Kent State. Like he's a great one. Typically, your wide receiver twos are going around the 4th round. So, Wes, there's a question about top 5 wide receiver twos, and so I'll just mention the guys like Rashee Rice, Dante Cephas, Marvin Mims, Stephen Cobbs. Like those are the guys that are going around that range.
Yeah, definitely. I want some more Stephen Cobbs. I think I only got him in like one league. And then I know you probably don't want to give out your man crush, but and a couple other guys. Chris Thornton, I like in that range. And then Tyrese Chambers is another. And that's pretty much it. Unless Marvin Harrison is there. Yeah, he's been going a little earlier lately. So he's not really a 2 anymore. He's kind of getting in that, that 1B kind of range. Because, I mean, dude is a beast. I love Harrison.
This is JMU's first season in D1, right?
Yep.
Or in FBS.
Yeah, in FBS. Yep. They just moved up this year.
Yeah, and they've got a good team too. Like a really good defense, and I mean they recruited the quarterback from Colorado State that Trey McBride had his Mackey Award winning season with, and I mean they're going to be legit. They're going to be and they've got a pretty soft schedule. The only problem is they can't play a bowl game. So
right, is that just for this year? I know there's a waiting period. There's only 1 year.
Yeah,
just 1 year. That's not bad.
But okay, so one of the big differences I want to pass along between college CFF and NFL is like in NFL when you've got your draft list and you're checking out the ADP numbers. Sometimes you'll use the ones that are on the site like MFL or something, and you don't want to go too far off of that, but you do want to identify the values. And then if you know that there's somebody that he's hot right now, if you want him, you're going to have to go get him, and you reach for him a little bit. That's not really the case in CFF. In CFF, if you have those ADP numbers, you kind of stick to those ADP numbers as you go through, not saying draft based off of the ADP. Of course, you're going to go a little bit up and down, but not as far. You're not going to reach like 30 picks away from ADP like I just did for Rachaad White. You don't do that in college football because there's so many players that you don't have to reach that far. So if you know where you can have an idea of what the players that you want, but you want to wait for the relevant rounds. 2 or 3 rounds is about the limit of where you're going to reach for somebody. You're not going to go much further than that.
Carp, your question, will we get a tiered rankings sheet at some point? That will be completely up to the staff, just because that's done by hand. With our NFL cheat sheets, like the spreadsheet is ridiculously complex and intuitive. the college football one right now is not there yet. So any type of tiers is going to have to be done by hand. So honestly, that's just going to be up to the bandwidth from our staff. I mean, if we expand our staff, then probably, good bet for that. But yeah,
I wish we could. I wish we had our ADP numbers up right now, but it wouldn't be our work. I mean, we could ask Zach if. I mean, it's going to be worthless here in a few weeks anyway. I mean, what do you think?
I'd say let's focus. This is year one. Let's focus on content itself, and then tools can be a big year two thing.
Okay.
We have such a good base already when it comes to the custom built tools like the optimizer. From my understanding, it didn't take much work to sort of get the PGA optimizer to where it's at, which is almost ready for release since we built it for NFL. So,
and that type of stuff in the CFF world are like unicorns, and I mean they're super valuable because they don't exist.
Yeah.
People will pay just for that stuff. I mean that really is something that's pretty unique.
Yeah, I mean, if you just do a search for CFF rankings, I mean, you're going to find, maybe a top 100 overall, top 50, top 70. I mean, you're not going to find anything like that. You can just, I'll just use this free thing that's not out there. It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's just so limited information, and it's so valuable though going into it. Like even for me. Or Josh, we have to use our own rankings as we're drafting. We'll have a memory of who we're looking for in certain areas, but I want to know what guys are slipping as well. So I'm crossing players off a list, just like every I would recommend everyone doing. I'm not doing it as meticulous, but it's something I do as well. Just so I make sure I keep track of the guys that are slipping that maybe I wouldn't normally go after, but then I'm like, wait a second, he's 5 rounds lower than where he should be. So I'm going to take a stab at him. Is that something that you do as well, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the beauty with our rankings, and like with you and iWest, is that we're not going to rank based on what everybody else is doing in the industry. We're going to rank based on how we value guys.
Yeah.
And how and then we're going to draft based on that too. And so I would say, and I'm not saying that other people don't do that, but I would say that's something pretty unique to us of we're not afraid to go get our guys and to put our name on the line and then look really dumb if a Chris Thornton doesn't hit, right? Because we have a confidence in what we're doing, and we have a history of that stuff working out.
So I think I've been in around 20 drafts or so with you, Josh. Maybe not that many, maybe 12, 13. I don't know, something like that. I don't think anyone else has drafted Chris Thornton other than you or I.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they can't get high enough to get him.
Yeah, no, it hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. I'm sure somebody will disappoint there. So Ben, I mean, you got to drop some Rutgers knowledge on us here. Talk about your boy. Mohamed Touré's little brother. I know you're itching to the world.
I literally just found that out an hour ago. So 6'4" wide receivers, even in college football are not a dime a dozen. So I think my guess is he's probably and excuse my son. He's
no worries, man. My house is full of them. We're good.
Yeah, I know. I would venture guess he's probably the tallest receiver at Rutgers since Kenny Britt back in when I was there, 2006, 2007 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everything banks on Gavin Wimsatt. That's what. And you guys have a better profile on him than I do. But I just know literally everything will bank on him. They do have their running back Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
Who showed some promise last year, but they got a brutal schedule. They got to play Iowa in the cross division.
Big Ten schedules are never easy. So
it's but again, all depends on Gavin Wimsatt. I'll just pick the over every single week on him and hope that it happens.
Yeah,
there you go.
Definitely. What's up, Ezra?
He just he literally swiped out of the screen, so I disappeared for a second because he.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
The spit rag. It's a fashion statement. I love it. Yeah, man.
It's interesting because I know you both have them, and then Hanson. One thing, Hanson was always like, "Get a vasectomy, get a vasectomy, get a vasectomy" for years and years.
Man, I can't bring myself to do it. Not really the conversation, but
I'm at the point of tired and delusion where I want to hang out with Elmo. He just like seems like a good dude, and I just wanna hang out with him.
All right, we ready for what is this?
Yeah,
let's do it.
I'm gonna put this one down real quick.
These are good. My wife made these breaded cauliflower. They're tasty.
All right.
So this is Los Calientes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the one that doesn't like smell so good. It just doesn't have a good taste.
It's it's like a chili or a curry almost.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Not bad. I mean, it's not great. I'm not going to say tasty.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different chilies. Yeah, it tastes like it goes on taco. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it for sure.
Not spicy.
No, it's not. I think after the next one, we'll be crossing the spicy threshold.
Hey Wes, we got another question over here from Carp asking about RB2s. So who are the top 5 RB2s?
Well, I think you should start with your 2 guys that you love as your RB2s.
Yeah, I think for me it starts with Kamar Wheaton and Corey Kiner. Those are 2 guys that I absolutely love in that range. Mm-hmm. I think guys like Donovan Edwards in a PPR have quite a bit of value. Titus Swin from Wyoming. I mean, this is what
Braden Bennett.
Braden Bennett. Like to me, this is the RB2s are the value picks to me in these drafts. And it's, even an Ontario Brown is potentially a guy you can get in that range. I mean, so yeah, all those guys, like, you're going to be sitting pretty with those guys. Like so Braden Bennett can be a league winner.
One of the strategies I've been using lately is that if I don't get one of the top wide receivers, like if I don't get, obviously Jackson Smith and Jigba, if I don't get Xavier Worthy, A.T. Perry, Addison, Jordan Addison, or Cedric Tillman, what I've done is I would throw Kayshon Boutte in there, and it's not a consensus across the industry that he's up there, but he is for me.
You sold me though. I'm back in on him.
Okay, so. Good deal. I'm glad. What I've been doing is I've been going RB and getting 2 of those RB2s because I like them that much. I like having stud running backs and dynamic players that are just consistent throughout the season. And honestly, they shouldn't be RB2s, but Josh and I have been picking up guys like Zach Evans and Devin. Well, I get Devin and Shane in most of my drafts. They should not be RB2s. They're RB1s, but the industry has been kind of slow to recognize that, and we've been picking them up with the RB2s like consistently. And it's highway robbery, man. They're gonna beast, and it's just crazy. But good questions, Carp. Keep them up.
Yeah, Will Shipley's another one in that range.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I got a tight end question actually. I don't know if this was in an article or on a podcast or something, but Kyle Pitts was the greatest tight end prospect we've ever seen, and then until we saw Michael Mayer. So is there someone after Michael Mayer who we can expect to basically click the reset button on? Well, in terms of conversation,
I think you mean Brock Bowers.
Or Brock Bowers, yeah. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
And actually, Michael Mayer is like, and we were talking about this on the Independence pod.
Yeah.
He's like the next George Kittle.
That's why that name popped up. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the closest thing to a George Kittle, an overall, just a perfect package tight end. But as far as like, how Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's basically a wide receiver. Massive. That's like Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers can block and he can do it well, but not like Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer like makes people look stupid on the field. He'll throw them down on the ground, get up in their face. I mean, he's just nasty. But in the future though, there is one guy that I like quite a bit, and he's the true freshman this year, and that's Jake Johnson. So if you remember Brad Johnson, the quarterback from
the Vikings QB.
Yeah. Won Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. Yeah.
So in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So his son, he's got two sons. Max Johnson, he's the quarterback at Texas A&M, and then he's got his younger son is Jake Johnson, and he's a tight end coming in this year. And so Texas A&M, we don't have like a huge window of scouting reports on the internet. Obviously scouting reports have been going back for as far as football has, but as far as like the internet age, it's only about a 20-year window. But the Texas A&M class is like the greatest in that 20-year window. And Jake Johnson, man, he's just from what I'm reading about him is he may get on the field like right away. There's some other guys that he's going to have to compete with, but he's supposed to be just the next big thing. So we'll see how he develops and stuff. But to get back to that though, no, there's nobody like Brock Bowers from an athletic standpoint.
Gotcha.
Out of high school, he's got a 40+ vertical. He's running a 4.5 at 6'4", 230 pounds. I mean, it's just unheard of at that size, and it's shades of Kyle Pitts.
Fair enough.
But I will say that, I mean, Josh, I mean, you could probably talk about your guy Michael Trigg because he's pretty athletic as well, right?
Yeah, I worry a little bit about him being 6'3", and maybe I shouldn't, but like I was just looking at even the top 13 tight ends of this last year.
I'm looking at that's the shortest. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember who it was. I think it was like Irv Smith was like the first one that comes up. I'm like, so 6'3", like I don't know, like it just my
6'3", he's fine as long as he's not like 6'2".
Yeah,
Zach Kuntz at Old Dominion is 6'8".
Yep.
That is a monster.
Yeah. And he's got NFL scouts all over him. Him. And I will say, go ahead, Josh. I cut you off. Finish.
Well, there's another kid, Oscar Delp.
Yeah.
At Georgia right now, 6'5", 225. He's kind of the same mold. And then Jaleel Skinner from Miami. He's like 6'6". He's like 240 already. He came in at like 215. He's already gained 25 pounds. He has an 84-inch wingspan.
It's crazy.
And he's just hyper athletic. Like he was kind of goofy, right? Like in senior year of high school, and he's like just kind of filled into his body. And so they're expecting some big things out of him.
I'm surprised you even mentioned Jaleel Skinner before your guy, Shaman Mateer at Cincinnati.
Yeah. He's another guy.
It'd be fun Tribby school.
Well, it's kind of funny though, is somebody who's really not a mainstream name, and we're just skipping right over him, and I didn't even think about Eric Gilbert.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had a good year with LSU, but he's at Georgia now, and he's behind Bowers. But I mean, at the same time, behind. I mean, I should say he's like, as long as he keeps his head on straight, he had some. I don't know if I'd call them mental health issues, but just kind of like some. He didn't adjust to the pressure of being in the spotlight very well after his year at LSU, and he like was talking about going to Florida, and then he was talking about going back to LSU, and then he ended up landing at Georgia. But I mean, he's one of the highest rated tight end recruits. I think he might be the highest, isn't he? Tight end recruit ever. Yeah. Highest rated one. So I mean, he doesn't have Brock Bowers' athleticism, but he's more of a prototypical tight end. So I mean, there's a lot of top athletes out there. It's just guys like Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers from an athletic perspective.
Unicorns,
yeah, they just don't exist. And man, go look at the. I was looking at some shots of Brock Bowers doing these different workouts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like never in my life have I been just what he is right now. He is like, he's a Greek god, is what he is, and and there's a reason that he's so athletic because he pushes his body to the limit.
Yeah.
We got. You want to move to the next one? And Carp has another good question.
He's got a couple good questions here. I like him.
When do you hit the Carp is an all around fantasy points man. When do you hit the awesome. Oh shit zone, or when do you hit the oh shit zone when it comes to drafting QBs? After 10, after 15, after 20, and then what is this? This is 7th Reaper now.
Yeah, this is where it gets real, man.
Right. I got to put the child down and try not to touch it. From here on out, I'm gonna
Go ahead, Ben. I'm sure we'll have different answers. So
yeah,
I guess if you want to eat your thing first, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. And this is what is this at 50 or after Los Calientes?
Little spice there, yeah.
59,000.
59,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It definitely hits.
Is this a thick one? I'm trying to wait for this to come out. Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
Like,
oh boy.
It's like the spice of like a jalapeno. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, it's thick too.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, moving on from my drums to my flats over here. To answer this question.
Yeah, that has a little bit. That has a little bit of something.
Yeah, it does. Not bad though.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. When do I hit the oh shit zone? I think man, my kids are listening. I shouldn't have said that.
Let me preface this. Josh never does. His drafts are so meticulous and planned out from first pick to last pick that and you gotta understand who you're asking here. Like Josh, usually by the time he's done with his draft, if there's a 28 rounder, it's taken him 28 seconds to draft his team.
Yeah, I can say the same about Wes here. But yeah, so I would say once Holton Ahlers gets picked, so wherever he's at in our rankings, like that's kind of my last quarterback that I'm like, man, I really, really, really like him. And then it gets to like a Todd Centeio or something like that. That's a little bit more risky. But Holton Ahlers, you're getting in the I just got him in the 25th, 26th round in a draft, and so that's pretty much as long as you're going to go. So it's so deep this year. I've done a couple of different 20 rounders too. And it's like, you're getting guys like Taquan Finn potentially in that range. And so, yeah, I don't know for you, is there anything? I mean, quarterbacks are so deep in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I would say I completely agree that it is so deep, and because we're seeing just the air raid spreading like crazy. And that just makes so many different quarterbacks coming to utility and CFF. But yes, there is a point. And I'm not gonna curse because my boys, they listen to this, so they listen to all of my recordings later on. So, but there is a point where I hit, and that was one night. And so I always have my cues set, and I always have it set for auto pick, and not just a few rounds. It's set for always. And there was the most recent draft that we did. And there was a guy that was away, and it was a really quick draft actually, but there was a guy that was away for several hours and wasn't making his pick. And I ended up going to bed a little earlier that night. And when I woke up the next morning, it had drafted 3 rounds. I didn't realize it was going to go that quick. So I got to round 26 and I only had 3 quarterbacks, and this is a best ball. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, I'm going to have to, go. No, it was either 25 or 26. And, yeah, it was 26. And so that meant I had to draft quarterback back to back. I wasn't able to do any, pretty stack. I was going to finish it off with Marcel Barbie and then Lane Hatcher, the stack that I like to finish my drafts off with. And so I wasn't able to do that. I had to throw out Marcel Barbie, and I went Tanner McKee and Lane Hatcher. I had taken Ben Urasek earlier in the draft as my tight end one. So I liked getting Tanner McKee at the late to finish in the 27th to finish off that stack. But yeah, I mean, when I'm in a best ball, a 28 round best ball, I definitely want to have 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I did not realize it was going to go 3 rounds while I was and I got up at 5 a.m., so it wasn't like I was sleeping in the next day, and 3 rounds went by. It was crazy.
That's funny. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, you don't usually plan for 3 rounds while you're sleeping at night. But yeah, with some of these sharps, they're the Scott breed. They like to stay up until 3-4 a.m. and then sleep till 1 p.m.
Well, if you take 15 minutes in that draft, you are just getting blasted from everyone in the draft room, because it's a slow draft only in name.
Yeah.
Shame is just it's like that, GOT Game of Thrones meme, the shame.
Yeah,
that's what you get.
Well, and all I'm doing is I'm just doing all of these CFF best balls, and it's all with sharps. So we're going through these pretty quick, and then I'm doing the Scott Fish Bowl 12, and people are slow. I mean, slow, brutally slow. I mean, I was looking at the bottom, and the time that everybody was at 1 hour per pick, and I was at zero seconds.
That's what actually I gotta check that, but that's sort of what I've been. It's taken me 10 minutes to pick, and everyone else is
Oh, it's so hard. And then you got guys, and then the worst thing is at the turn, the back-to-back picks. So you got 8 hours for each one, and the guy runs out of time on his first one. It starts up, and you have to go through the entire 8 hours again for the second one. That draft took forever.
Yeah.
You ready for collards?
Yeah.
Collards and
Let's
ghosts.
Do it. And then Carp has another question here, and we can answer it pretty quickly. Okay. This is collards.
How many skulls are we looking at?
Collards and ghosts.
70,000.
This is a 70,000.
My stomach is starting to feel it a little bit.
Josh is going to start giggling here in a little bit.
Oh, it's black. It's black. Oh boy.
Actually, I don't think that was as bad as the last one. Okay, it's a late hitter. Okay, yeah.
It starts slow and it just builds up.
It is.
Does it start slow?
Yeah,
this one tastes slow. Good. It's hot, but it tastes.
Oh, I just licked my lips. That was stupid.
It does. It is tasty though. I will say that one is actually tasty.
Not a big collard greens fan myself, so.
Oh, guys, I am not looking forward to the bomb. I'm just gonna say.
See, now, honestly, for the first time, I'm nervous. Before after the ghost pepper one. Oh,
but here's all I'm thinking right now, Ben, is that we took an hour for the first 5, which are the light ones, and now we're gonna go back to back to back in 25 minutes.
I know, yeah, that's true.
Oh boy,
maybe it's better that way.
Yeah, now I'm not as confident as I was approximately 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, Carp, to answer your question, you had a question here about where are all these CFF best ball drafts? Can I get in them? 3 people to follow on Twitter for him at CFF Jared. He does best balls. Mike Bainbridge, so M Bainbridge CFF, and then at Debbie Warehouse. Those are the 3 people that host all the best balls. So if you can get them in there.
The other thing though is Carp is that's going to be with all sharps and then just a couple of fill-ins. So they're going to be a little bit ahead of, oh man, that was actually spicy, guys.
It's not going away.
I wonder if I ate one out of order. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That one is
Is it burning you guys too?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Whew. But you can set those up on your own and just do a shout into Twitter and use like hashtag CFF and just fill it up that way.
Yeah,
we do have future plans for, because there's very few hosting sites, so we do have future plans. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yo, I'm speechless, man, by what you just said. What is
big announcement right there?
No. I said we have plans. We have plans.
Wow.
I've had a conversation with our developer. That's it. I've just had conversations.
Okay. No, but that still has me excited. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't know what you just said though. Like, to people that play CFF and deal with fan tracks, like you just might have gone viral.
I can't be held accountable because of the sauces.
Yeah. The things that come out of my mouth, yeah, you can't hold them to me later on.
Hey Ryan, if you're listening to this, do the Jared drafts on Sunday nights as much as you can, because those are ones that are that's a great level of draft for you to get into.
Yeah.
And I think those were
that's what I was going to say is you can just do just set up a league and I bet you a lot of the guys from our 22 team Devi would love to do those with you as practice, and you could probably fill up the leagues and obviously stay away from me, JD and Josh, and then open season on the rest, and you could probably fill up several of those. You guys could probably put together a series of CFF drafts, best balls, where you don't have to ever do anything else with them, and you're drafting with guys with similar experience to just get you prepared, for going after some of the more experienced types of settings. But the only reason I say don't do the ones with Bainbridge and with Greg are just because these guys aren't playing around. They're not gonna, nobody's gonna be slipping in these drafts, and you got to stay on top of them.
I'm gonna give you updates on my friends.
How are they doing?
So far so good. Just wait. See, it's just wait like 60 seconds. I'm about to be made to look like a.
I feel sorry for you, man. No, seriously, when you're dabbing,
she's just like, oh, it's good. I got it.
There's something to it because all of mine are cooked in, and I assume you did the same, Josh, right?
No, I did what he did, man.
You dabbed them all?
Dabbed them all.
Oh, wow. I feel like I was the wuss in this one. If I try to cook breaded cauliflower, I couldn't show it in front of the camera. It would make people sick. So
we tried when we went vegan for a little bit. We try cooking breaded cauliflower is so difficult. It's so hard to get it to stick like successfully. Like we tried to do buffalo cauliflower.
Yeah. That sounds like the same recipe my wife used, actually. Buffalo cauliflower. I think that's what she used. Something off the internet. She's
just for clarification, the delay hit her. Yeah. She's now, the delay hit her with the Cogs and Ghost.
Oh, is your wife doing it too?
No, my best friend's wife is doing it. Connie says she's gonna try one of the later ones.
Wow. Yeah. They're no joke, man. They're no joke. I'm gonna throw that out there.
I'm not believe it.
No, not you. To her. The last three are no joke. You're gonna be hurting.
Things have settled. I think I'm fully good from the collards.
All right, you ready to do another one?
All right. So this is Turfing's. This is Turfing's Curse. I'm trying to for the viewers trying to flash Turfing's Curse.
Yeah, I love that.
And wait. What's this level? I gotta wait for
I don't have the bottles with me. I have
Let me wait for it.
It'll pop up on the bottom. It's going through the Turner here. Oh, here it is. Turfing's Curse, 99,000.
So this one is 99,000. Okay.
What was the last one?
The last one was 70. Oh, so this is a solid jump. Oh.
Well, the next one is the bomb. So
Yeah.
yeah. We're going to be close to in the millions.
Yeah, this is the crazy one here. I mean, we're getting ready to get into the crazy ones.
A lot of it, so much is like with taste.
This one's it's
Well,
good.
This one is not. Hang on. Oh.
The giggling's coming out.
Don't wipe your eyes.
No, still not. Yeah, I'm trying to remind myself not to wipe my eyes. No, this one, I want to like put another dab on, but I know that's like the last words I'll ever speak is. Let me just put one more little dab on.
I don't want to be gross if there's ladies listening, and I'm sure there are, but Bear Grylls, so it's not me saying it, but Bear Grylls was saying when he was on the latest Hot Ones, and he was saying, don't rub your eyes and don't scratch your balls.
Yeah. Smart man.
Yeah.
So I did just put a little bit more on. I like this one.
That one's not bad at all.
It's not as bad as the last one.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as the last one.
The last one was much hotter than this.
Man! Oh, we're jumping up to 135,000 next.
Oh yeah, it's the bomb. It's pain. It's pain. Yeah.
Last time we did this,
it's still not as bad. I promise.
Yeah, the last time we did this, my son came downstairs afterwards and decided he was gonna take a bite out of one of them, and he got the bomb.
I can't believe he did that. I can't believe your son did that. How old was he? 8?
Yeah, 8. He just starts crying, coughing and crying, and he's like, I can't do it.
And then what did he say to you right before when you were gonna go when you're coming on again? He's like, what was he saying this
he was
time?
like, he was like, can I do it? Like, I want to do it.
No, he was saying, I got you, Dad. I got you.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see him in about 5 seconds here.
I'm saying Quentin, thank you. He's 16 minutes behind, but he's going to do his first CFF league this year because of our content.
Awesome.
So good stuff.
Love it, Quentin. Yeah.
Ooh,
okay. Carp, you had a good question up here in the 2020 and the 22 team monster. We have balance build in the draft or pound running back wide receiver in the first 8 rounds. So what I would say in Dynasty, or this is C2C, right? So you keep these players. I mean, you're going to want to go with the guys that have the greatest value on the NFL side because you're going to keep them forever. So, I think a lot early on, people are going to go after, Devi value, and you're going to have to. So you're going to be able to get quality running back wide receivers and the 10th to 25th round, you're going to get quality guys. So I would say go whoever you have as the best available players in your rankings, or if you're using Wes's Debbie rankings, then I would go with that. So, yeah. And it's going to be hard to get. I mean, there's going to be 4 quarterbacks that are going to go in the first round. And so outside of that, it's going to be all running backs and wide receivers, to be honest, because there's just not that many quarterbacks that are going to hit as first round picks necessarily in the NFL. So.
Yeah, you have to be careful with those quarterbacks because a lot of times, I mean, even NFL scouts can only properly evaluate a quarterback 1 year out. And when you try to go further back than that, guys make such tremendous leaps in their understanding of coverages, understanding of how to set up blitz pickups and things like that. That they look like a different quarterback, even though it's just a slight shift in mindset and how to approach, but. It's really difficult to evaluate quarterbacks, especially when you're looking at like true freshmen. You really only want to heavily invest in like the cream of the crop, the kids that are just like the scouts are saying he's like the next big thing and one of the highest rated recruits ever. And that's like the only time you can really do that. Go ahead.
So Sunday, Chase Bizantis, 4-star athlete, committing on Sunday between A&M, Georgia, Rutgers, LSU, and Michigan State. It's on Sunday.
I love it. It makes me think that with Rutgers on the list, and not taking a shot on the football team, but it's probably a smart kid. It's probably a really smart kid.
Yeah.
Because if he has Rutgers on his list, then it's like an SEC kid that has Vanderbilt on his list.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's a prestigious school. There's a reason that it's one of the founding members.
Right. No, that's absolutely true with Vandy. Yep, 5 o'clock, 4-star athlete. I don't know much about him, but I'll look more into it.
Whew, yeah. And then the other thing with Devi, when you're, so I've heard some people say, well, when I'm doing a Devi startup and I'm doing, if it's, so say it's a C2C and you're, and this is the example that I want to use. So in a C2C, so toss out the NFL side, which is basically like a dyno draft. But when you do the college football draft, I've heard people say that they draft Devi up to a certain round and then they cut it off and then they'll draft CFF. See, I don't do that, and I try to keep a Devi mindset beginning to end. But at the same time, you can draft Devi, and you're still getting guys that you can compete with in on your college side. But I want to have like as many guys on my roster that I think can that I think can move on to my NFL roster. So yeah, I know this isn't a Devi conversation, but there was a question, so I feel justified, right?
Yeah, like it. All right. Are we ready?
Ready for
Are we
Devon?
ready? Are we doing Devon?
Yeah, I feel like that last one wasn't that bad. Might as well hit it while we're.
I feel like they set it up that way to lull you into a false sense of security.
Hold on, I want to talk about something else first. No.
All right, so DeBomb, this is what, 135,000?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I made the mistake of smelling it.
This is what separates the
Woo! Here we go.
The men from the Nancys. Yeah, this is it. You ready?
Oh, hang on. Oh, this is a good one too.
Did you eat it?
That's good consistency. Okay. All right. Oh man, F this. I'm for the record. I'm still putting a generous amount on each one.
It tastes nasty.
It hits you hard, man. Oh. It's time for smoked milk.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh.
This stuff is not a joke. There's no joke to this. It's not like a real thing that you would order at a restaurant.
No, you would never order this.
No, it's a joke, is what it is. It's a novelty. It's something you pour in your buddy's drink when he's not looking. This is bad.
I'm acting like my son over here.
Wow.
Danielle?
Yeah. What is this? I heard you call it
Yeah, that hits, man. Whoa.
I'm trying to slurp milk.
Oh my gosh.
That throat is burning.
Throat and tongue. I'm standing up for a second.
Man, that's I'm on fire right now.
If I remember correctly, number 9 wasn't as bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 10 is like lethal.
Wow. It's hit me hard, so much harder than last time.
It burns the stomach and like the air, whatever you call it, esophagus, whatever that is.
I think I put too much on it.
Oh, we're clipping that one. That was awesome. The oat milk does not taste good either. That's the other thing. Is like, it's not like
They're trying to make me laugh. I would just spit up.
Oh my gosh. Two more.
Just,
Ben, are they all trying it too?
Just so my best friend's wife is. It's actually fun. My best friend he met his wife when we were all living in the same apartments at Rutgers in 2007. And their daughter is a year old. She's jumping around and dying. Go drink milk.
Oh man! Holy smacks!
We were the core of us. We were all blessed in the Shiano 1.0 era, the Ray Rice and McCourty brothers era, to be there.
Wow!
Oh man! Carp says we need a Debbie YouTube show. And we did it, Debbie. We're actually we gotta. Oh my god! We gotta iron out some stuff. We've all just been silent on the show.
Yeah, that's maybe we did maybe we did need JD for the last.
Yeah, maybe we did.
Sean, I'm speaking to our producer right now. Sean, you can clip whatever you want. Take the weekend to find the best clips of it.
But this is one of them for sure. Oh man!
It just won't stop.
So that was 135, and we're making the. No, just on. And next we're making the jump to 666,000.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be talking about a whole lot of CFF stuff.
Thank you. Got a milk refill. All right, so I'll pose questions. Josh, what is the prevailing can't talk the prevailing thought process in Texas heading into SEC? Like, what's the local buzz? So, like, we know what it is from a national standpoint, but
yeah, I mean, I think they're excited. I think part of it is that they want to delay going into that, so they're not eager to get in there.
Says fade to black.
They want to wait to be able to stack more talent, some more top 5 to 10 classes to be able to get in there. So they're happy to get in there 24, 25. I think there's some pretty realistic, like, we're going to get our butts handed to us if we don't improve. So, because it's a whole different beast, the SEC from the Big 12 for sure.
It's been the last decade just has not been since trying to think how since Vince Young, how fun has it been to be a Texas fan?
And 2009 was, I mean, the McCoy
or the
Colt McCoy and him getting his shoulder hurt in that Alabama for I think that was Alabama's first championship.
The funny one random funny thing about realignment was Rutgers actually had a home and home scheduled with UCLA for 2024-25. Like they had it planned it. I think they scheduled it like 4 years ago or something. So that's awesome. That's interesting. Yeah, it's now.
This is my princess right here.
Hey, little
awesome.
Hubert.
Hey.
Do you want to try a hot sauce?
No, I don't think that would go over very well.
Yeah.
I texted my brother. I was like, I'm doing the Hot Ones challenge tonight. And he's like, what's that? And I just sent him pictures of the box. He's like, oh, Connie will have to take a video of that. I'm like, I'm doing it on a live show.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We
I'm starting
definitely
to calm
appreciate
down.
it. Still people sticking around to watch. We definitely appreciate everyone
Yeah, absolutely.
tuning in.
They're all the people that hate us, and they're just like, oh, I want to see him in pain.
I want to see
Figure out who our haters are right here.
No,
Right,
I think Carp and Robert, they're just waiting for you guys to slip up on your secrets of secrets of CFF.
I think we gave them away already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I will say if I have to do the Hot Ones challenge, I wouldn't want to do it anywhere else but on a live show with you two gentlemen.
Oh.
Well, I take that as an honor.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
I was trying to browse through before we get into Psycho.
We already ate the bomb.
Yeah. Trying to think of other things to touch on for college football. I'm just so excited for like DFS to start. I'm excited for the college football Discord to be hopping with 2:30 p.m. 2:30 sweats on the 12 p.m. kickoff games and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. When is it?
That's when the
August
channel really takes off.
August. Who starts? Nebraska? Who kicks off the season?
What is that game?
Yeah, it's I thought it was Nebraska college football schedule 2022. Yeah, well from FBS, Nebraska Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're part of
Yeah.
Which sucks in CFF because none of those games count for CFF.
There's
right. But DFS.
Hey, from a content provider perspective and business perspective, DFS and betting. There you go.
Yeah.
Connecticut, Wyoming, Illinois. That actually could be.
Is there a Boise State game that week? No.
No, Nevada, New Mexico. It's okay. Here's the schedule: Nevada, for August 27th. Nevada, New Mexico State, Austin P in Western Kentucky, Nebraska, Northwestern, Idaho State and UNLV, Connecticut, Utah State, Wyoming, Illinois, Duquesne, Florida State, that's random, Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, Florida A&M, UNC, this actually could be cool, North Texas and UTEP, and then Vanderbilt, Hawaii. Oh, that's fun though, because the Vanderbilt, Hawaii, it's like kickoff and watch college football all the way to 1 a.m. Eastern time with the Hawaii game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, do you want to? Carp had one more question. If you, we'll do his question and then we'll do Psycho.
Okay.
How much does conferences matter when considering two different wide receiver RBs? Would a conference play? Yeah, swayed the decision. That's actually interesting because that's sort of like in fantasy. It's like if you're considering a player between, I don't know, the Jets, someone in the AFC East or the loaded AFC West or something. Yeah, I'll let you guys take that away.
Yeah, I definitely want to evaluate strength of schedule, and I don't know, that's probably the only thing that I would. That and then we're lucky that it's only Nebraska really that is hurt that plays in week 0, because we lose that game. But I don't know, Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not so much conference, but strength of schedule maybe. So, like example, Washington State plays Washington. So when they had Mike Leach, they would get torched the last week of the year every year. And this quarterback that was amazing all year. You get to the championship game with him from Washington State, and then he would tank you in the championship. So, yeah, more of like end of season schedule is what I look at than conference. But if you play in the MAC, then you have an easy schedule for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
and you play on Tuesday every week.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh man, that last one just kicked my butt, and it was so much worse than I remember from last time.
Connie, come try one. Connie is witnessing us, and she's like, "No, I'm not sure."
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so
I need to bang these last two out before I.
So this is
I can't.
Dingo Dingo Psycho Hot Sauce. And the Scoville is, I believe, 666,000.
All right, I remember it as not being that bad.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when I produced the show last. I'm not going to put as much on as I did for the last one because that. Oh, I still put a little too much on. Okay.
It just tastes nasty.
Mm-hmm. It's not good.
It doesn't hit nearly as quickly.
Yeah, the mixture of beer and oat milk has not been good. It was a poor choice. I need that Will Ferrell gift from Anchorman. Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit of a delay.
A little bit, but nothing like the last one.
I still. Oh, actually, I do feel.
Just listen. It's better than nothing.
Carp, we got one more. No, that's not bad. That's unsettling though. Like it is uncomfortable.
It tastes awful. I think that's the 666,000 is just the taste.
I don't know. That's a lingering.
Yeah, it's a burn your tongue. Yeah.
I feel it in the back of my throat. It's not going away. It's absolutely not as bad as the last one.
So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to dab this one. But I'm not.
I need to just give me a minute.
No. I'm not saying we need to eat it. I'm just saying.
Danielle.
In future Hot Ones episodes, we do the first ones in 30 minutes and the last ones in an hour.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, why did we? Why am I the only one? Yeah, talk to your husband about that. No, actually, it's smart that my best friend and my wife aren't doing it because we have to handle children, and I don't want to risk holding. That's true.
Yeah, I mean these last hot sauces, these last three are not hot sauces that you would put on food that you would ever eat. No, it's actually the last one is just bad. It just tasted bad. But the bomb in this one, it's just not something that you would crave ever.
Well, and they don't feel good in your stomach either.
No, they don't.
Oh my god! I just burped and it burned.
Oh yeah. Wait till you floss your teeth when you're done, and you get some of the balm out of your teeth. It burns.
My lip, like on my right side, is just like numb. Like I cannot feel this like right lip over here.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be a wuss until one of you say I have to eat it, and that's when I'll do it.
One other thing I'll say that we're trying to do, we already do this for NFL. We're working on the capabilities for PGA and college football. Is the news feed, just having our analysts the ability to just blurb on each bit of news feed that's just built into the system.
That's awesome.
Just for
That'd
quick.
awesome.
Like you go and you see, Quinn Ewers dealing with soreness in his non-throwing shoulder. You can go in there and write a one-sentence blurb, analysis type thing.
Yeah.
Just short form. Yeah, just short form analysis.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
All right. Are we ready?
We got it. Let's do it.
All right, I dabbed it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me when you're putting it in your mouth, because I just want to savor
this is the last dab.
Yeah, we're gonna do this quick, and then I don't know how much longer my stomach's gonna hold up.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Can I record this? Are you guys on? I'll do it.
Hang on, we're recording this locally also.
I've never seen the last one.
Hang on. Okay. Put that on
Usually you
here.
have it. The last stat, usually it's already on it, and then they say you can download all if you want to.
All right. Here.
2 million Scovilles.
Yeah, this is 2 million Scovilles. Okay.
Carp is like, last question.
Name one each before you guys can't talk anymore. Name one. Okay. I'm actually okay. Here we go. Did you guys are you ready? Are we doing it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
Cheers. Ben, you cheers with her.
Cheers.
Oh, it's nasty.
Dab a little bit more.
More?
Yep.
Oh.
No,
More.
don't do more.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh. Oh, life hurts right now.
I don't like the dab.
Did I not put enough?
I don't want to drink milk. I don't want to drink.
Supposed to dab everywhere, yeah.
Something's happening.
Dab a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah. Name what? Oh.
breakout player QB Blake Shapen, running back,
Josh Bauer.
running back Trevion Cooley, wide receiver Chris Thornton. That's a cheat one, and tight end.
I can't think of anybody now right now. Tight end.
Gavin Bartholomew. There
Yeah.
we go.
Not do
I'm done.
more. Could do more.
You should do.
That would be cool. I don't have to talk.
Still, DeBomb is still. I think it's still worse.
Yeah.
That was awful.
You could totally do that. No problem.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dab one I don't think is supposed to be the hottest. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know. It's still like.
Lingering?
I feel like insane. Like I feel like a crazy person.
I feel like a milkshake.
If
Yeah.
you were interviewing, I would tell you my whole truth. Because I would not be able to hold any of that.
Oh.
And that doesn't.
It's starting to hurt. It makes me so upset.
I'm glad this is our last one for the season.
Oh gosh.
I feel lightheaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. I feel like it's.
feel like I just need some hard drugs. Like taking a girlfriend running from my body. No, I don't like that.
Oh, it's awful.
Oh, it's awful.
It's just all burning.
That's the thing. It's not as like punch as the bomb, but it is from head to toe. It is like you feel it up here, all the way
Yeah.
down there. More.
The bomb is still in there somewhere.
The mom and the bubble.
Oh,
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Good stuff. Yeah, close
Yep.
it out, Wes.
yeah.
Yeah.
we appreciate you sticking around, and that's it for this evening. And yeah, you got what you came here for. So have a good one. And I'm gonna go stick my head in the bathtub. And yeah, it's awful. Have a good one. Bye.
Signing off.
Peace.